Hello, welcome back to another episode of John the PM, where we believe that managing projects is not just a job, but a way of life. Just real quick, I'd like to talk on this topic here for just a moment or two. How to answer PMP questions when two answers look correct. So we're going to dive into this here, go through three main points, and then kind of summarize at the end. The first issue is that the exam actually tests judgment. It doesn't necessarily test memorization. Now, it's a true statement that there are some things that are easier to memorize, like RACI, responsible, accountable, consulting, informed. So sometimes it is easier to memorize certain things, but that's not really the point. The point is really to understand what the words are so that you can exercise your judgment, not just on a test, but out in the field. Both answers, normally they are designed to look fairly correct, on the onset. That's what the exam, is probably meant to do in the first place. But just keep in mind, one is technically possible, the other is professionally correct. What we're after is the one that is professionally correct, not just it's possible. Okay, so this also applies out in the field. You're kind of looking at your, scenario that's kind of presented to you, the problem of the day. Something might be technically feasible, but is it actually correct? And what you're after is the professionally correct answer. This actually helps anxiety within testing candidates to drop, to lower, once they kind of understand just that one point in and of itself. The second thing I'd like to just provide, thoughts on is that PMI actually rewards being proactive, systems level thinking. We kind of lead through processes, not heroics. I kind of get in on the project, out in the field, there's the hero of the day and things of that nature. Got it, understood it, been there, know it, done it, all those other great things. But really, it's more of a process driven. Areas on that side. And that's what we really should be kind of geared towards. We do like to prevent problems rather than simply reacting to them. Now, problems is what keeps us in business. Okay, so first and foremost, there's already going to be problems there, so you don't need to go creating them. But what you want to do is prevent them. And then finally, we want to address the root cause, not just the symptoms. Sometimes we become the masters of putting band-aids on issues and or concerns, as opposed to really digging through it and really trying to understand, hey, what is the root cause that is actually making this issue? Now, how does this apply to the testing situation? Normally, if it's more process-driven, probably going to be more correct. If it's more on preventing an issue or preventing a problem, it's probably going to be more correct. If it's really talking about root causes, it's probably going to be more correct. The exam judgment mirrors real-world decision-making. Professionals rarely choose between like right and wrong. Rarely do we do that. A lot of times it's like shades of differences. What you're doing is that you are choosing between two reasonable trade-offs, but you have to understand what the trade-offs are. So if you're speeding something up, perhaps your quality issues might be at risk. If you are expediting shipments, your costs may go up. What are the trade-offs? So we have to become the masters of really kind of understanding what that is. Not just out in the field, but again, on a test. Now, this one mindset actually does improve both the pass rates, but also your on-the-job confidence when you're out in the field and really kind of working through the various projects that you have. All right, so just really on this video, I wanted to just talk about how to answer, PMP questions. If there are two that look correct, remember it's probably better to be preventive. It's probably better to look for the root cause. It's probably better to use professional judgment, use that systems-based thinking, understand what the trade-offs are. What the remarkable piece of this process, if we can call it that, is that it not only helps you on the exam, but it also helps you out in the field. If you like this episode, awesome. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. And it helps me, helps my team, helps my staff to be a service back to you. In the meantime, hopefully all of your projects will be highly successful.